6. Key Stoic secrets to enhance your mindfulness routine. I used to start my day feeling like I was already miles behind. My mind was this constant, chaotic storm of notifications, deadlines, and a nagging anxiety I just couldn't shake. I was trying to do all the right things: meditation apps, gratitude journals, deep breathing. I was practicing mindfulness, or at least, I thought I was. But that feeling of true, unshakable inner peace, it felt like a total fantasy. It was like I was just slapping a band-aid on a much deeper problem, a temporary fix that never really addressed the frantic pace of modern life. That's when I decided to look to the past, not for nostalgia, but honestly, out of desperation. I dove into the world of the ancient Stoics thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, Seneca, a brilliant playwright, and Epictetus, a man born into slavery who lived with the mindset of a king. I had to know what their secret was. How did they find calm and resilience in a world filled with plagues, wars, and political chaos? What I discovered wasn't just a philosophy, it was a practical toolkit. It totally transformed my understanding of mindfulness and gave me a real framework for building genuine, lasting inner peace. So today, I want to share that journey and the 6 powerful Stoic secrets that completely changed my daily routine and my life. These aren't just old, dusty ideas. They're actionable tools that can protect your mind from the chaos of the world today. The first secret: presence with purposeful attention, prosoche. The first secret completely flipped what I thought mindfulness was all about. We usually hear about mindfulness as being non-judgmentally aware, watching your thoughts like clouds drifting by, and that's a decent start. But the Stoics took it a huge leap further with a concept they called prosoche. Prosoche is the Greek word for attention, but it's so much more than just passively watching. It's a state of continuous, vigilant attention on your inner world, specifically on your judgments, your actions, and your character. While modern mindfulness often focuses on how to pay attention, Stoic mindfulness, or prosoche, stresses what you should be paying attention to. It's the difference between just watching the clouds and actually learning how to command the weather inside your own mind. I used to sit and watch my anxious thoughts go by, and sometimes it helped, but a lot of the time I just felt like a helpless specter to my own mental storm. Prosoche taught me to be an active participant. It's about catching a thought right as it pops up and asking a simple question: is this thought actually helping me? Is it based in reason? This isn't about judging yourself harshly. It's about making smart judgments about your thoughts. Think of your mind as a fortress. Modern mindfulness might tell you to stand on the walls and just watch whoever approaches, friend or foe. Prosoche teaches you to be the gatekeeper. You don't just watch. You actively decide who and what you let inside. You pay attention with a purpose. I started by weaving this into my daily meditation. Instead of just focusing on my breath, I started focusing on my reactions. When a thought like, "You're never going to finish that project on time," appeared, I wouldn't just label it as thinking. I'd pause and apply a little reason. I'd ask myself, is worrying about this productive? What part of this can I actually control? That simple switch took me from a state of passive anxiety to active, calm problem-solving. It's a practice of awareness, not just for 10 minutes on a cushion, but in every moment while you're walking, eating, or working. It's about living with a laser focus on what truly matters: your choices and your character. The second secret: rehearsing for trouble, premeditatio malorum. All right, this next secret might sound a little strange, maybe even a bit dark. It's called premeditatio malorum, which is Latin for the premeditation of evils. It sounds grim, I know, but it is one of the most powerful and, ironically, calming exercises I've ever tried. The idea is simple. You deliberately take time to imagine things going wrong in the future, setbacks, hardships, or losses. Now, why on earth would you want to do that? Because, as the Stoics understood, most of our anxiety doesn't come from bad events themselves, but from being blindsided by them. We suffer more in our imagination than in reality because we let our fears ambush us. Premeditatio malorum is like an emotional fire drill. It's not about obsessing over the negative, it's about practicing for it, so it loses its power to shock and overwhelm you. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius was famous for starting his day with this. He'd tell himself something like, "Today I'm going to meet with meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, and selfish people." He wasn't being a downer, he was getting his mind ready. By anticipating these challenges, he made sure that when he did run into them, he could respond with calm and reason instead of shock and anger. I first tried this when I had a huge presentation at work. I was sick with anxiety for weeks. What if I forget what to say? What if the client hates my ideas? What if the projector dies? My mind was just a tornado of worst-case scenarios. So I decided to give this Stoic secret a shot. I sat down and intentionally walked myself through each of those fears. Okay, what if I forget my lines? I'll have my notes with me. I can pause, take a breath, and look at them. It might be awkward for a second, but it's not the end of the world. What if the client hates it? I'll listen to their feedback, try to understand their concerns, and promise to make it better. Their reaction is up to them. My professionalism is up to me. What if the tech fails? I'll have a printed copy as a backup. By walking through these potential disasters, two amazing things happened. First, I realized that for every potential problem, there was a solution, or at least a way I could cope. That alone massively reduced my anxiety. Second, and this is the hidden genius of the practice, it filled me with this incredible sense of gratitude for the present moment. After imagining getting fired or failing spectacularly, the reality of just having the chance to present felt like a gift. It shifts your focus from what you're afraid of losing to what you're lucky to have right now. It builds an emotional toughness that keeps you steady when life, inevitably, goes off script. The third secret, the evening review, Stoic journaling. The third secret is a habit that's really the foundation of self-improvement for anyone interested in Stoicism, the daily journal. But this isn't your typical Dear Diary entry about your day. Stoic journaling is a tough, honest look at yourself. It's like a nightly audit of your day, guided by key questions designed to make you a better person. Seneca, one of the great Stoic writers, talked about his own evening routine. Before going to sleep, he'd ask himself, "What weakness did you overcome today? What fault did you resist? In what way are you better?" This little ritual of reflection is what really drives self-awareness and personal growth. I'd tried journaling before, but it was usually pretty aimless. I'd mostly just vent about my frustrations. It felt good for a minute, but it was really just stirring the pot of my own anxieties. The Stoic way gave my journaling a structure and a purpose. It turned my journal from a complaint book into a training manual. So now, every evening before bed, I sit down and ask myself a few specific questions. What did I do well today that aligns with my values? This makes me recognize my wins, no matter how small, and encourages me to keep doing the right thing. Where did I fall short? When did I let my emotions get the best of me? This isn't about beating myself up. It's about getting honest feedback. I write it down without any drama, just the facts. Maybe I was impatient in traffic or snapped at a family member. Just seeing it on the page is the first step to fixing it. What situations challenged me, and what can I learn from them? This helps turn roadblocks into lessons. How could I have handled a tough moment better? This is all about creating a mental game plan for the next time. This evening review connects right back to prosoche, that purposeful attention. It trains your mind to be aware of its own patterns. After a few weeks of this, I started to see my triggers so clearly. I noticed the exact situations that led to anger or stress. That awareness, which I built in the quiet of the evening, started showing up during my day. I was becoming more mindful in the moment because I knew I'd have to answer to myself later that night. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to make progress. It's about making a conscious choice, day after day, to become a slightly better version of yourself. This practice gives you the roadmap and the discipline to actually make that happen. If you're finding this ancient wisdom as life-changing as I have, and you want more practical guides to building inner peace and mental strength, take a second to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We're all in this together, and I've got a lot more to share on this journey. The fourth secret, the fortress of the mind, the dichotomy of control. If there is one Stoic idea that can single-handedly change your life and wipe out most of your daily stress, this is it, the dichotomy of control. The concept, laid out so clearly by Epictetus, is deceptively simple. Some things in life are up to us, and some things just aren't. Real peace of mind and personal power come from knowing the difference and putting all your energy into what you can actually control. So, what's in our control? Our beliefs, our judgments, our choices, our attitude, our actions, and that's pretty much it. What's not in our control? Almost everything else. The weather, the economy, traffic, what other people think of you, whether someone is nice to you, getting sick, and even how long you live. It sounds simple, right? But modern life is a constant temptation to forget this rule. We get furious in a traffic jam, as if our anger could magically part the cars. We scroll through social media, tying ourselves in knots over the opinions of complete strangers. We get tormented by what might go wrong at work, forgetting that the only thing we truly command is the quality of the work we put in. Getting a handle on this principle was a total game changer for me. I used to be a chronic worrier. I'd waste so much mental and emotional fuel on things I had zero influence over. A friend's bad mood could throw off my entire day. The fear of what people thought about me was paralyzing. Applying the dichotomy of control became my daily mental workout. Whenever I felt that spike of anxiety, anger, or frustration, I would stop and ask myself the question Epictetus would have asked: is this up to me or not up to me? Stuck in traffic and late for a meeting? The traffic is not up to me. My reaction to it is, I can use the time to listen to a podcast, do some breathing exercises, or call ahead and calmly explain, I'll be late. My inner peace is my choice. Someone left a nasty comment online. Their opinion is not up to me. My choice to get into a fight over it or to just let it go absolutely is. Worried about a health scare? The final outcome may not be in my control, but my decision to eat well, to exercise, to follow my doctor's advice, and to keep a calm and rational mindset, those things are entirely up to me. This isn't about being passive or giving up. It's about being smart and effective. It's about saving your precious energy for the one battle you can actually win, the one inside your own mind. When you let go of the need to control the uncontrollable, you build an internal fortress, a citadel of the mind that no external event can ever break into. The fifth secret, do it well. Do it now, living with virtue in the present. This fifth secret builds on all the others, tying together presence and purpose into every single thing you do. We've all heard the advice to live in the present moment. But what does that really mean, practically? For the Stoics, it wasn't just about being here now, it was about being excellent here now. It's about doing every single thing in your life with virtue, as if it were the most important thing you could possibly be doing. Marcus Aurelius put it perfectly in his Meditations. Perform every action as though it were your last. He also said that a person's life is only the present moment, because the past is gone and the future is uncertain. This isn't a call to be reckless, it's a call to be completely committed. It means that whether you are running a country, writing an email, or just washing the dishes, you do it with your full attention and dedication. I used to see my days as just a series of things to get through. I'd rush through the boring tasks, my mind already leaping ahead to the next thing, seeing them as chores standing between me and what I really wanted to do. That mindset made most of my life feel like I was just stuck in a waiting room. Applying this Stoic secret changed everything. I started with the simplest things. When I washed the dishes, I just focused on washing the dishes. I felt the warm water, the sponge in my hand, the satisfaction of seeing a clean plate. I did the task not with resentment, but with a kind of quiet excellence. At work, instead of getting distracted by worries about the future or regrets about the past, I brought my full focus to what was right in front of me. I tried to write every email with clarity. I tried to listen in every meeting with my full attention. The result wasn't just that my work got better, but my experience of the work itself was transformed. The stress from multitasking and worrying just melted away, and in its place was this deep sense of engagement. Living with virtue in the present means realizing there are no small moments. Your life isn't just the highlight reel of big accomplishments. Your life is the sum total of all these present moments. How you live them is how you live your life. By choosing to act with patience, courage, and integrity in each moment. Whether it feels important or not, you are actively building your character. You're not waiting for your life to start. You are living it, right now, with purpose. The sixth secret, the antidote to fragility, voluntary discomfort. This final secret is maybe the most physically challenging, but it builds a kind of mental toughness that's almost impossible to get any other way. It's the practice of voluntary discomfort. In our world today, we are masters of avoiding discomfort. We live in climate-controlled houses, get food delivered to our door, and look for convenience at every turn. The Stoics would say that this constant comfort, while nice, actually makes us mentally and emotionally fragile. Voluntary discomfort is when you deliberately and safely expose yourself to small hardships to build your resilience and gratitude. Think of it as a vaccine against adversity. By choosing to handle a small, controlled dose of hardship, you train your mind and body to deal with the unexpected, involuntary hardships that life will definitely throw at you. Seneca recommended setting aside a few days each month to live on the simplest food and wear old, shabby clothes, all while asking yourself, is this the situation I was so afraid of? By getting a taste of poverty, he made himself immune to the fear of it. My journey with this started small. I started taking cold showers. The first time was a total shock to the system. My brain was screaming at me to turn the handle back to warm. But I stayed with it, focused on my breath, and just endured it. And when I stepped out, I felt this incredible rush of clarity and achievement. I had just done something hard, on purpose. That one small act of courage rippled through my day. The annoying email in my inbox seemed less of a big deal. The traffic on the way to work was less irritating. I had already proven to myself, first thing in the morning, that I could handle being uncomfortable. That builds a quiet confidence that you are way tougher than you think. Other ways you can try this are things like intermittent fasting, exercising even when you don't feel like it, sleeping on the floor for a night, or intentionally leaving your phone at home for a few hours. The practice does two things. First, it makes your comfort zone bigger and builds incredible mental strength. Second, it gives you a deep sense of gratitude. A warm shower feels like a total luxury. A simple meal tastes amazing after a fast. You learn to appreciate the comforts you have instead of just taking them for granted. By practicing voluntary discomfort, you're not looking for suffering. You're building an inner strength that makes you less afraid of it. You're building a mind that doesn't break so easily. Conclusion. My journey from being totally overwhelmed by stress to building a real foundation of inner peace wasn't about finding some magic trick. It was about installing a new operating system for my mind, one built on ancient wisdom that has been tested for centuries. By practicing purposeful attention with prosoche, I learned to control my focus. By rehearsing for trouble with premeditatio malorum, I took away anxiety's power. By doing a daily evening review, I committed myself to getting a little better every day. By embracing the dichotomy of control, I freed myself from the weight of things I can't change. By living with virtue in the present, I found meaning in every single moment. And by practicing voluntary discomfort, I built the resilience to face whatever comes next. These 6 secrets aren't just philosophy. They are practical tools. They are a training program for your mind, designed to help you find calm, courage, and wisdom. They have completely supercharged my mindfulness practice, turning it from a passive exercise into an active, empowering way of living. The chaos of the outside world hasn't really changed, but my internal world has, and that has made all the difference. So what about you? Which of these Stoic secrets hits home the most? Is there a practice you're already doing, or one you feel inspired to try? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one, and I truly believe we can all learn from each other's journey. Thanks for watching.